this could be. Oh my gosh, there goes my phone.
Well, hello there, moviegoers and movie watchers, and whatever you want to call yourselves. Welcome to another We Speak Cinema review. My name is Ioan,
My name is Peter.
and for today's review, we will be talking about the Billy Wilder's Ace in the Hole, the Criterion Collection edition.
Yes.
Um, well, I've seen this film about a year ago,
Mm.
um, and this film, I believe, back then it resonated a lot, and I think it still resonates to today. If you've seen this film, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Peter over here has seen it recently because we've been doing a Billy Wilder week this week. This whole week we've been doing a Billy Wilder watch
Right.
or rewatch. And this was one of the films that I recommended him to watch. And we'll hear more from him about this film. But before we do that, sadly, we have to announce that this video it's not being any more sponsored by StreamYard because apparently StreamYard has decided to do what, Peter?
They've decided to make recording a premium feature, I guess. I don't know. We just discovered this now. So that from now on, it looks like this is how the recordings are going to be.
Pretty much. But hey, it's fine. It's Zoom.
It's okay. We have a platform. That's all that matters.
Hopefully, Zoom won't be going premium. We won't be betraying.
Zoom. If Zoom goes premium, that's how you know that the pandemic has ended.
Let's get into it,
Yeah,
shall we?
let's talk about it. So I really, really, really like this film.
Right.
After I saw it, there was a point where I watched the first hour 20, and I was gonna stop and just watch the rest tomorrow, like the next day. But I said no, I have to know what happens because it's that good, and I was that invested. So one of the biggest talking points is probably Kirk Douglas's performance in this film, because I'm not sure how many Kirk Douglas movies I've seen, but this is by far my favorite performance of his. He plays this selfish, greedy, alcoholic journalist, and lying journalist who gets let off right from this company, and he goes to, is it New Mexico?
Yeah, it's in New Mexico.
Like Albuquerque, right? Isn't that the company?
The Albuquerque Sun Bulletin.
Right. So he goes there in search of a job.
Yeah.
You have the whole scene in the where he meets the head of the newspaper company, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then he goes out to kind of speak to everyone at the desks who's working there, and he kind of asserts his dominance, I'd like to say, on his desk. And there's a time jump that I wasn't expecting, which is like 6 months or something like that.
Sort of like that, yeah.
Where he's been working there for a while now.
Yeah.
And he just has no motivation, because the stories, that's his whole monologue. He's like, these stories are so terrible. He goes through the newspapers that they've written previously, and it's all just like in tight-knit bubble neighborhood situations. And he wants to get out and go follow a story. So they hire him to go to this rattlesnake thing, this convention or something. Like there's like 100 rattlesnakes. I don't even know what it is. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And that's kind of really where the movie begins, because he goes on the road with one of his coworkers, and they have to stop for gas.
Yeah.
And what do they find there when they stop for gas?
Yeah, well, it's I was talking to you about this, and it's so interesting the way Billy Wilder did this, or he was trying to introduce to us a new situation. So we arrive in the middle of nowhere, middle of the desert, at this gas station, and they fill up the gas in the tank, and they have to go in and they have to pay, but nobody's in, and they just hear somebody sobbing. So they go where the sound is, and it's basically in the back of the gas station. And there was an old woman kneeling at the bed and praying the rosary. And you're like, what's happening, right? So they leave the gas station, and I think when they leave, it's the guy who was in the cave trapped. She comes by, if I remember correctly, and then they find out, Kirk Douglas and the clerk, they find out that there's somebody trapped in the cave.
Yes.
And so they go to the opening of the cave, and then you see there, I think it was a family of Native Americans.
Yeah.
And Kirk Douglas gets this story that they don't want to go in there because they believe that it's haunted. The mountain is haunted.
Yeah, and that's kind of what sparks the whole idea to put this in the newspaper. Obviously, a guy stuck in a cave is probably the biggest news that his company has heard in the past year, but
Exactly.
it's still um that misinterpretation of the whole spirits idea in the cave that makes it a more appealable story to the public.
Yeah.
And this is where his sort of manipulation begins, where
Hmm.
he I don't remember exactly what he said, but he definitely was not supposed to go into that cave. Okay,
Well, well,
he manipulated his
I
way into getting in there.
I think he was. I think because when they arrived at the cave with the wife, there was also, I think it was either the girl's brother or was the guy who was trapped in the cave's brother. I don't remember exactly. He was supposed to go in and give him food.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Hmm.
And Kirk Douglas says, "No, give it to me. I'll go. Don't
Right.
worry about it. I'll go." So he goes in and he finds up in the cave and he starts making up a story. And he lies to the guy. Don't, listen, man. Don't worry. Hang out in there. I'm gonna make you big.
Right.
I'm gonna build you an image. Whatever he said in the monologue.
Mhm.
So he gets out,
And
and then he lies in front of in front of those people and say,
yeah.
"No, he's fine. He's fine." While the guy was actually being crushed
Hmm.
by, what is it, a rock or a log
Yeah, it's
that
like
fell on top of him.
because it's a mine, right?
Yeah, it's a mine. It's an old
So
mine.
it's just kind of collapsed on top of them a little bit.
Yeah,
The whole inside the mine and the caves is shot so beautifully. It looks
right.
incredible. And I think the moment that something really snapped into place for me for where this movie was going was when he took out the camera and snapped a photo of him just laying there, you know, unable to move. And he's
Yeah,
like you said, don't worry, I'm gonna make you big, whatever. And then he gets out and he says he's fine, blah blah blah.
yeah,
And he starts this almost like I would call it almost like a cult following of people who are they don't even care that he's there. That's why this film is so good because that's what it portrays. And I love the sign that they have right before there's the gate, and at the beginning it just says like the place that they're at, but later on it says 50 cents, and then like an hour into the movie it's $1.
yeah.
And
So as I was telling you, the we see sort of a gradual increase in this lie building, like it's building up to a climax, and the climax basically is the guy's death,
yeah,
which then after that climax, then the whole point of the film just falls down flat.
but it's whose idea is it to
Yeah,
drill from the top?
him. It's Kirk Douglas's
Yeah,
idea. Don't,
that's the reason that all of this went
haywire. Yeah,
yeah.
because why? So let's call it. They found him on. Let's. I don't remember what day it was. Actually, it says here. If you look at,
Is
if
it
you
a
look at,
Tuesday?
if you, I don't know what's June 17th back in 1950 or
Oh my God, let
1951.
me look. Hold on. Oh, this is
Um,
gonna take forever for me to go back there.
no, it's like 1950, 1951.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I'll forget it.
this is the this is, if you look at the Criterion cover for the Criterion Blu-ray, there is Escudero, New Mexico, June 17th. Deep in the long forbidden recess of an Indian burial cavern is
Mm.
a brave soul trapped to his waist in crushing rock and sand. Leon Minosa waits. At the cave's entrance waits his grief-stricken wife, Mrs. Lorraine Minosa.
What's the date?
June 17th.
What year?
You've had your whole fucking life to think things over.
Look, 1950, because we are always going a year back, because this was released in 51, so we go a year back.
1950 June. What you say?
17th.
What good's a few minutes more gonna do you now?
So it's a Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday. Yeah, okay, fine.
Saturday. Saturday.
Okay, let's do it. It's a Saturday, right? It Saturday, he goes back and he starts writing this, right? He
Yep.
sends, no, actually doesn't, he doesn't go back. He just stays at the gas station. He camps out.
Yeah.
And slowly by upcoming week, Monday, Tuesday, we have campers coming in,
Hmm.
because can you imagine that far? It hasn't been that, no, the news has reached so far that this guy is already becoming a legend.
Yeah.
Now, Douglas, I think he insisted in bringing the drilling guys. And when he
Yeah.
brought in the drilling guys, the guy said, "It's fine. We can do an operation. It takes a couple of hours, just through the middle of the mountain, and we can get him."
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas insisted, "No, we're gonna go through the top." And
Yeah.
why
But
did we
to buy more time.
buy more time? Exactly.
Literally to buy more time.
Technically, yeah.
Like, because he, at that point in his mind, he's so messed up that he's there for the fame
Himself.
and the money.
Yeah, it's himself.
It's himself. And it starts off, I just remembered, with the one couple driving down the road.
Remember, and they ask, "Where's the where?" I think they asked, "Where's the where can we camp for whatever the guy's name was for Leo Mendoza, the guy who's trapped in the cave?" And
Yeah,
I
no,
think
they're like, we heard about it. Can we go up to the cave? And I think Kirk Douglas is like, yeah, sure, come on, like whatever. Then
I think it was I think they talked first to the old woman, and she was like, you can see on her face that how disgusted she was,
yeah,
and or the old man. And Kirk Douglas then comes in and says, "Oh, don't worry, you can just go over there. It's there." And it's interesting because this carnival, everything started with the point of building up enough money to save Leo, to
yeah.
save the guy trapped in the cave. But by the end of it, it became just that, a carnival. Nobody cared about who was in the cave anymore.
And
The money was going whatever.
I was gonna say when I love the scene when Kirk Douglas announces that he's died, and he tells everyone go home, and
Go
nobody
on.
knows what to do. It's just everyone's standing still. It's quiet. People
Yeah.
are. It's like they've come out of a trance now.
Yeah.
That they were in with the festivities and the carnival and people buying, cotton candy. I don't know, but and then he says that he's died, and they're like, "Oh my God! Like we got to go home. Like this is over. This isn't even fun anymore."
Yeah, it's not now. I remember something in regards to his whole point of being in Mexico. I don't think he was going to California. What he was trying to do, because he was laid off of Chicago Tribune and New York Times because he lied so much.
Yes.
He was trying to build up his prestige back so he can get a what's that award? That book award that you
Pulitzer?
get, the Pulitzer Award, right? He was trying to get a Pulitzer in best journalism, and he said, "I'm going to stay here. I'm going to find something, and then I'm going to build myself up." And if you remember, he was always trying to reach the New York Times guy. He was
Yeah.
trying to talk to him, and you remember when he goes up into his office. Oh no, he goes back into to the gas station and he talks with the guy at the phone, and the guy, the editor in chief, says, "Hey man, you got the job back, you got everything back."
Yeah.
His job was achieved, right? But then we see in another, I think this was prior or after he talked on the phone. He was manipulating. He was also telling the other guys from different journals, from different newspapers, what to write and what to write. So we see this, if we apply it in today's world and back then's world, we can say that you have the small guy who knows the details of everything, and he dictates to other people, "You should say that, you should hold that, up, you shouldn't say that much."
Mm-hmm.
And that's better. He's upholding basically details in regards to the story. Have we seen this in the past? Of course we have.
Yeah.
And he has been proven multiple times throughout journalistic history how miserable you have to be in order to hold up evidence or hold up details from
Yeah.
a news that you reported.
Now, the last point I want to make before we give our final ratings
Yeah.
is about the guy of Minosa's wife,
Yes.
who's up there, just just like everybody else, but she starts falling in love with Kirk Douglas's character.
Yeah, you can say that, but I was actually going to bring the thing up that if you remember from Othello, from Shakespeare's Othello,
Yeah.
there's a famous monologue from Iago, and Iago says to Othello, "Oh, the green-eyed monster."
Right? The jealousy one. Yeah.
The jealousy, right? So this is jealousy and greed at the
Yeah.
same time. And I want to say that this sort of monster, we see it in Kirk Douglas. but this sort of monster is transmittable to other people. It hasn't been transmittable to Minosa's parents. It hasn't been transmittable to anybody else, but to Minosa's wife. She doesn't care about him anymore. I don't think she ever did.
Right, but now it's very evident that she doesn't care.
Because she was only looking for fame. She was looking for money.
So
Looking,
in other words, Kirk Douglas's character and Minosa's wife, they are pretty much on the same level of.
I mean, exactly. If you remember in the film, she gets the money, then she leaves off.
Yeah, and she doesn't want to wear the thing that he bought her.
Yeah, and that's such an emotional speech, because that's when Kirk Douglas goes back into the cave before he dies, before Minosa dies. And he has this, and Minosa is so sincere, because Minosa is sort of this, he's a simpleton, but he loves his wife so much. And he bought her from his like little wage that he got as a miner or whatever he is, like as a gas station attendee. Bought this like fur, or like what is it, a fox shawl,
Something like that.
whatever people used to wear back in the day. And he tells Kirk Douglas, could you please give it to my wife? It's either it's her birthday or it's their anniversary. I forgot.
It's their anniversary.
Anniversary. And Kirk Douglas goes up to her, and I think she was about to leave, and then they have their
And I forgot, because the movie ends with, he gets stabbed.
Yeah.
And he makes it all the way back. I couldn't believe this. This shows the determination and how greed and fame has affected this character's mind. And I just want to say this would be a great double feature with There Will Be Blood, because the ending of this movie is really quickly in There Will Be Blood, when Daniel Plainview breaks his leg in the mine, he crawls all the way to the nearest city or town.
How many miles? How many miles?
That could be an entire movie on its own.
Yeah, like
just him getting to the town. Yeah. So same thing here with Kirk Douglas. He gets stabbed and he makes it all the way back to the newspaper company just to tell them off, basically. And then he kind of he falls over.
Yeah. He basically says, guys, I lied. I killed him. And I like it because he assumes responsibility.
Yeah.
He doesn't say the guy died.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I killed him. And
then that's that.
And it's such an impactful film. I do have to watch, though. I think this would be also a great double feature with The Face in the Crowd, from what I've heard. A film still about media and media corruption, made towards the end of the 50s.
Yeah.
But Billy Wilder, what a great director.
Oh my God.
What a great writer. I mean, he wrote most of his films.
That's very that's incredible to me, that he can write and direct like this.
This is why I like those type of directors. I like directors who write their own stuff and who direct their own stuff.
Because it comes from the same person, so you have the same vision for everything. And
not only that, but you have I think in regards to filmmaking, you have much more freedom.
Oh, 100%.
But Ace in the Hole, it says in the back, it says was written by Billy Wilder, Lester Samuels, and Walter Newman. Just not bad. You have a trio of writers.
Sure, but one of those trio is the director, So
one of them, yeah, and probably the main contributor can be the director.
Yeah. So we've watched Double Indemnity, Sunset Boulevard, Witness for Prosecution, all incredible films. Billy Wilder is now in my top 5 directors. I love this guy. Whatever he touches is basically gold. So I highly recommend Ace in the Hole, because it is my favorite out of the ones that I saw. And my rating for this film, this is the first 5 on the channel for me, because that's how much I loved it. And stay tuned for a haul in July. This definitely will be a pickup. So
I don't remember what my rating is, so let me go on Letterboxd.
Yeah, you take your time. Follow us on Letterboxd. It'll be in the description.
Ace in the, and I also love the title, ace in the hole.
Yeah, and they say it in the film, and every time I think about it, I think of the Leo thing from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. I gave this a 4.5.
Yeah.
I think I gave it because I didn't give it a 5 because I think it was too long. Like it dragged a little bit. It's like what, an hour and 50 minutes?
Yeah.
And I've watched it all the way through. I mean, I saw the TV for 1 hour and 50 minutes. Haven't paused the video. Haven't paused the video, and probably that's why. But if I see it now, probably it's gonna be a 5. I have to see it though.
It's incredible. It's so
This
good.
was a blind buy because I was watching. This was prior. I think this was prior to the sale last year when I got it. And I think I was watching somebody in the Criterion Collection closets, and they recommended it. Like a lot of people recommended this. I said, I have to check it out.
Check it out. And you said you took it off the shelf and said, "In the bag."
I said, well, Billy Wilder's Ace in the Hole is one of the most scratching indictments of American culture ever produced by a Hollywood filmmaker. Kirk Douglas gives the fiercest performance of his career as Chuck Tatum, an amoral newspaper reporter who washes up in dead-end Albuquerque, happens upon the scoop of a lifetime, and will do anything to keep getting the lurid headlines. In the bag.
In the bag.
By the way, guys, if you're wondering what we are referencing, we're gonna put this in the video. You'll see there's a new Criterion Closet video with Nathan Lane. He's phenomenal. I think it's our favorite.
It's so good.
Has been declared both obscene and revolutionary. In the bag.
So it's our favorite closet video.
There's so many quotable lines, and that's just one of them. So,
Yes,
thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much
for this talk. We will be back soon.
Very soon. We shall be doing Emmerich Pressburger and Michael Powell. We're going to enter right now into British cinema of mostly the 40s. So yeah, stay tuned, and we'll talk about him maybe next week or in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's it for our review. Thank you for watching, and that's a wrap.